Being versus appearing. When I was younger, like any other kid, I wanted to be well liked and popular. I would do anything to get the approval of other people, mostly girls, and I had zero true identity. This wasn't helped by the fact that I had very low self-esteem, which is a topic for another time. I drifted and I changed colors depending on the group I was around. I was fake, I had no true opinions, I had no thoughts of my own. Every action I took was to appear to be a certain way for the approval of other people. I didn't like myself very much. My own opinion of me didn't matter to me. I remember I bought an ugly purple sweater with what was probably my life savings at the time in grade 8 when a girl I liked told me her favorite color was purple. A hopeless romantic, you could say. I joined a fantasy football league because the cool kids were in it. I hated it. It was a stupid waste of my time and I had no interest in it. I tried a puff of weed once because that was the cool thing to do, bro. It felt like shit and I promised myself I'd never put trash in my body again. I got drunk like a fool at the prom party because that's what you're supposed to do in the movies. Haven't touched a drink since. I did the whole text her 3 hours later so you look busy thing instead of ever being busy doing anything productive. But the interesting thing is, despite trying my hardest, I never got any of those things I aimed to get. I was cool enough to fit in, but never the coolest. Girls liked me enough to talk to me and give me attention, but they always chose another guy. It was almost like everyone knew at some level that I was being something that I'm not. In my early 20s, I stopped caring. I figured I'm wasting my time and money doing these stupid things that I don't actually want to do, that I don't enjoy, only to gain the approval of people that I don't really care about, and it's not even working. I became a hermit and dove deep into the self-development rabbit hole we go down when things aren't going so hot. I realized that I was just a collection of flesh and blood, but I had no identity. Everything I thought was based on what others thought. I cared more about how other people saw me rather than how I saw myself. Now it slowly got better over time as I tasted and experienced what I genuinely liked and who I wanted to be. I cared more about being accountable to myself rather than to others. I started caring more about earning my own self-respect before desiring respect and adoration from others. I learned the difference between being and appearing. Being is who you are and what you do. They build on each other. I'm a healthy individual, so I train and eat well. I avoid putting garbage in my body, and then doing those things further reinforces my identity as a healthy individual. Appearing is what you do when you're worried more about how you look to other people than the actual actions you're taking. When I was focused on appearing, I would wear t-shirts a size too small to look more muscular. I would put filters on my pictures and be hyper aware all the time of how the lighting was and how I was looking. I'd make it a priority to mention to everyone annoyingly how I'd be going to the gym later that day and feeling like that's why I'm so busy and high status, which is just cringeworthy looking back at it. The funny thing about appearing is that it often takes more cognitive effort than just doing the damn thing to become it. Appearing is a shortcut, it's peacocking, it's advertising, it's disingenuous. It always gets found out, and you never, at least on a long-term scale, get what you were hoping for. You lose respect for yourself, and others see right through the charade and don't truly respect you in the first place. When you appear, you care about other people's attention and opinions, and they run your life. When you be and become through your actions, you only care about accountability to yourself and your conscience. The results speak so loud that you don't have to. The results and the person you are through your actions are such obvious things that there is no need to show off how often you go to the gym or how much you lift. Of course, this idea applies to any area of life. You just do the thing and funny enough, you stop caring about opinions. You get to a point where you take more pleasure in doing the thing than the results of it because you know that as long as you water the roots, the fruits will take care of themselves. You get to a point where it feels off if you don't do the thing that makes you who you are. When I was in university, luckily I'd gone through this realization relatively early on. I was technically a pre-med student. Not all of these people are the same, but there tends to be a batch of neurotic individuals that have very particular traits. A lot of people took pride in being a pre-med like it meant they'd already gotten accepted to med school, done residency, and they were well-known, groundbreaking physicians in their field. They would talk about how many research projects they were concurrently working on, how many volunteer groups they were running, and all the high grades they were getting on every exam. They were appearing. They wanted to be seen as that role rather than just doing the actions required of that role. I honestly can't think of one of these individuals, at least from my year, that actually even got accepted to medical school. Based on my learnings, I decided early on that I didn't want to be like that any longer in my life, so I just focused on my work. One semester at a time, I focused on my obligations outside of school to strengthen my application. I stayed in my lane and didn't worry about what anyone else was doing or trying to sabotage their efforts. I took care of the daily inputs and watered the roots for 4 years diligently. I got into medical school on my first try at my first choice school. I'm no better than any of those people. The only difference is that I was focused on being rather than appearing. In your life, have a goal for every area: money, relationships, health, spirituality, which you'll probably start caring about more later, and whatever else is important to you. You need to establish what it is that you're aiming for. What is your ideal in each of these areas? Then think about who you need to become to achieve those goals. We'll talk about goal setting in another video, but at this point, every single day, focus on being that individual through your actions. Focus on doing those actions to the best of your ability and keeping yourself accountable through your conscience. No need to be loud about it. No need to let everyone know how much better you are than them just because you're doing so and so. Just keep your head down, do the work, and try and enjoy the process. When you look up down the road, you'll find that the end goal has already been achieved, and that's not surprising at all. It's a mere byproduct of the actions you took over a long enough period of time. Inputs equal outputs. It's really that simple. You're not worried about how you come across to other people because your results make it obvious who you are. There is no question if you're pretending to be someone or if you are it. I don't have to pretend to be busy and hardworking to make people think I am those things. There's an MD next to my name. I get to go to work every day as a physician. My results are there. No one's thoughts and opinions can change what I've earned through my actions. As for me, I still slip up sometimes. I still have an ego. I'm not perfect, but I'm able to correct myself a lot quicker now. I don't pretend to have a take it or leave it attitude anymore. I am who I am. I like what I like. I want what I want. It's very much take it or leave it. So at the end of the day, focus on being. The appearing will take care of itself, and by then, you won't even care for it anyways. Till next time.